Duck Kitchen. My name is Gary Cole, Executive Chef at Blue Duck Catering, right here in Chicago, Illinois. Today we're going to take a walk down Bourbon Street and slowly work our way over to 3425 Short Street, which is my grandmother's address. Why did we start there? Because that's where this recipe for Creole chicken started. She of course received it from her mother, who in turn passed it down to my mother, and that's how I got the recipe. That's enough of history. Let's get cooking. Well, before we get started, in cooking school, as a matter of fact I went to CHIC, the Cooking and Hospitality Institute of Chicago, they teach you initially something called mise en place, which means that you have everything in place that you need in order to prepare the food. So let's take a look at our ingredients. Come on over, cameraman, let's take a look. We have some chicken broth here, a large fresh tomato, tomato sauce, that's about a 15-ounce can of tomato sauce. We have oregano, bay leaf, green pepper, some red pepper flakes, fresh garlic of course, fresh thyme, some flour, and of course the twins, salt and pepper, fresh onion, fresh celery, and vegetable oil. And of course our chicken. Now in order to do this we have to of course have utensils. Now the utensils that we use are very simple. We have a nice chef's knife with a nice edge on it, a set of tongs, and a spatula. And of course the indispensable large saute pan. Now we want to use a large saute pan because we don't want to crowd the chicken when we put it in. Because if you crowd the chicken, it steams and it doesn't get that nice caramelization that we're looking for. Okay, let's get started. As you can see, I've cut up some chicken parts. I've used legs and thighs and some wings. I like to use smaller pieces because breasts are kind of heavy and thick and don't have the kind of flavor that the darker meats have. So we take the chicken and we use some freshly ground black pepper. Always best to use freshly ground. A little salt. And then we take some flour and lightly dust the chicken. Not unlike fried chicken, we're not trying to coat it completely. We just want to put some flour on it so that it browns nicely. And it also adds some body to the sauce. You know, as it cooks, it develops its own flavor. So now we have lightly floured chicken. We shake off the excess, set it aside, and we're just about ready to start. Okay, then we turn on our saute pan. Now once the saute pan gets hot, we take, I'm going to turn off the clicker there. We take some vegetable oil, and with that vegetable oil, we put about 2 or 3 tablespoons in the pan. Now it's important that we wait till the pan gets reasonably warm before we add the chicken. We take our chicken and we place it in the pan. And you hear a little sizzle, you know the pan is warming up. Once we get all our chicken in the pan, of course not crowding the pan, see we have just enough so you have a little space in between each piece of chicken. Okay, now while the chicken is cooking, doing its saute thing, we turn the oven on, and in turning the oven on we set up to 350. The purpose of that is as the chicken has finished sauteing, it's nicely browned and caramelized, we can then put it on the plate, pop it in the oven, and let it hold there until we finish the rest of our cutting. So let's start first with our green pepper. Now first of course we take the core out. Now I've seen people take a long time to cut up a red green pepper, and it's really very simple. I've washed it already. But we just take a green pepper and we kind of julienne it like so. Turn it sideways and cut it so that we have a nice little cubes green pepper. We'll just set it aside. And we take our celery. Now, celery is a very important ingredient in Creole cooking because celery lends a flavor to a red sauce that would not otherwise be obtained. So we take our celery and we cut it up to what? About the same size as the green pepper. And you get enough to get that real celery flavor in there. Get another stalk here. And it's really very, very simple to cut celery, as you can see. Remember to keep the knife away from your fingers, but you're going to have a tendency to lose that digit or two if you're not careful. Once you get all your celery done, then of course you need a tomato. So I like to use fresh tomatoes because sometimes tomatoes in cans have different flavors. You'll find that, Contadina has one flavor, Pomodoro has another flavor. But if you stick with fresh tomatoes, you'll always know what your sauce is going to taste like. Now, some people like to parboil the tomato to get the skin off it. Now, some people just do it as I've been doing. Well, this is the way we've been doing it, as long as I know. So then, we go back to our chicken. It's been cooking some time now. And we take a peek at it. Let's get our spatula. Where's our spatula? Here it is. Take our spatula and just give it a little poke underneath. Turn it over. Oh yeah, see, it's a nice brown caramelization. We're not trying to cook the chicken all the way through. We're just trying to give it a nice caramelization on the outside and kind of par cooking it. It's going to cook when it's in the sauce. And just another secret about this Creole chicken, the longer you cook in the sauce, the tenderer the chicken will be. So we have to wait until this chicken gets the same color on the underside as it is on the top side. Okay, as you can see, our chicken is caramelized very nicely. And we're going to take this chicken here and just put it on this platter. Now, as you can probably know, in that short period of time, the chicken really hasn't cooked through. And especially as this is thighs and wings, we know it's not cooked all the way through. We're not trying to cook it all the way through. So then we take our chicken, nicely caramelized, and we run it into the oven at 350. It's just really a whole pattern. Now, in our saute pan, we have all the juices and oils remaining from the cooking of the chicken. We don't want to throw those away, so we save them. So we just pour them in a little container, because we never know when you might use it again. And leave a little residue there. Now, if you can see at the bottom of the pan, we have what is called a fond. Fond is all the little brown pieces that have come off the chicken and remain stuck to the bottom of the pan. That, ladies and gentlemen, is where all your flavor is. So you never wash your pan and throw away all your fond, because your fond is where your sauce is. Okay, we go back to the stove, get our pan fired up again.